Runner fans, the King Elite Runners, Elite Godson is here for more 100 weapon tier list of Pixelgun 3D. This will be part 8. Without further ado, let's start this off, but before I do, I want to do a quick disclaimer. There's been a few folks saying that where will be the gameplay of this. I will be doing gameplay of this game as well too, but just bear with me a little bit because I'm trying to get I'm trying to think of some ideas and whatnot for best loadouts for cat spam wise and whatnot, and so on and so forth. But don't worry, I will be doing gameplay of this. But as soon as I finish off the rest of this stuff right here, of the 100 weapon tier list, I will be doing some gameplay footage of it, and also my friends will be in videos as well too for battle royale stuff as well too. So just FYI about that, I will be doing gameplay about it and just have fun, but just bear with me. I will be doing it, but I'm still going to be continuing with the 100 weapon tier list. But anyway, without further ado, let's start off with number 701, the AI pistol. The AI pistol, in my opinion, is a pretty good weapon for starters and whatnot, because you can actually get this at level 2 or 3. Pretty good ammo usage for 10. Unfortunately, it has a delay, so it cannot be cat spammed. But I would recommend this for low level players only. So for AI pistol, fun weapon for low levels, and maybe for moderates if they want to upgrade this. But it's not a cat spam weapon, unfortunately. Next up is the Super Drill. This one would be possible for a cat spam, but it has that little delay animation, unfortunately. And I don't see a whole lot of folks use this weapon anyway. I think I may see bots use it, but I could be totally wrong about it. So for this one, I would recommend, if it's a knife party, probably a good idea to go for. And I would probably recommend for casuals at low and moderate level players only. Next up is the Meteorite Destroyer. This one can be possible for cat spams unless it has a delay. Then it's not a no-go. The only downside, it has a manual guidance. It is not a good weapon to go for cat spam weapons for manual guidance. But if it has a automatic guidance, the Cyber Beast, for example, it just goes through, homing missiles, for example, that'll probably be a good weapon to go for. But if you're just aiming straight when the player is coming towards you or whatnot, like the enemy, they probably have a good, decent advantage to actually just get the enemy out before they're trying to get you and whatnot. So Meteorite Destroyer, I would probably say maybe possible for cat spams, but if it has a delay, then it's a no-go. But I would recommend for casuals at low and moderates only. The Gravitator, I do see bots use this type of weapon before, several times whenever I'm playing matches, but it has bots only in it. The range of it is really good for its damage effect entirely, but it's super small. But you had to get the actual attack animation and whatnot if you want to get the actual full damage effect in. Its reload speed is pretty decent, but super slow. Ammo usage is similar to the flamethrower or whatnot, but I would not recommend for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals at the low and maybe a little bit of moderate. Next up is the Zap Blaster. This is an automatic type weapon. It cannot be cat spammed, unfortunately, but I would recommend for casuals at low and moderates. Especially if they're trying to do a challenge task where it says something like perform 25 headshots in 1 matches. This will be a good weapon to use because it has the head enlargement ability. Pretty good ammo usage as well, and not much I can say about it. And pretty decent reload speed as well. Next up is the Pew Blaster. This one I actually never touched because it's really difficult. The only thing about it is that you have to fully charge it, and the ability is that when it's fully charged, it will turn the enemy into a type of alien creature. And that'll be kind of annoying to do because it only has 20 HP for the alien in general. And you'll probably see a few players use this, not a whole lot because it seems a little bit rare at first. Its reload is pretty good. The ammo usage is pretty decent, which I do like about, because it takes like one full charge ammo to actually just get fully charged to get the enemy turned into a alien creature. So yeah, but when you turn into an alien, but when the enemy try to hit you and you get turned into an alien, you need to find like a hiding spot fast as possible before they actually get you or whatnot, or like another enemy gets you when they already have this one in fully charged and turned into alien mode and whatnot. So I would probably not recommend for cat spams, but it may have like no delay, but it has a charge ability, so no go for cat spams. I would recommend for casuals at low level players only, but for moderates and highs, they can still use it, but it's gonna be it's gonna be so annoying because a whole lot of folks could be rage quitting anyways because of the transformation of what type of thing you have. The Boom Blaster, I do see bots use this type of weapon anyway. It has the burning ability. It's like super fast automatic type heavy weapon. Its ammo usage is really like decent. Reload pretty fast, but maybe a little bit slow, but still pretty fast. The only downside, it has like no scope, so you had to like be very mindful about it. Its range is still pretty amazing for the firing rate. Not much I can say about this, but it is not a cat spam weapon, unfortunately, because it has a little bit of a delay. However, for your casuals, I would recommend for low and moderates. But for high level players, they can still use it if they like, but they just want to find like a different type of weapon anyway. So I would say for Boom Blaster, no for cat spams, yes for casuals for low and moderates only. Next up is the Pasonic Spore Thrower. This one, I'm not seeing quite a few people use this weapon before. It's an automatic type weapon, which has the charming ability, and I do believe it has the weakening effect, which it does. And also has the poison. It does have the scope. Pretty decent ammo usage, and also a good fire rate and reload speed as well too. I would recommend this for casuals at low and moderates, but not for cat spams because of the automatic type weapon. There's not much I can say about it anyway, but I just never seen a whole lot of players use this type of weapon anyway. Next up is the Poisonous Grasshopper. I do seen a few folks maybe use this ever since it was first released in the Expedition Season Battle Pass way back in like 2017, I think. I think it's either, no, not 2017. I think it's like 2018 or 2019. I can't remember which. But the Poisonous Grasshopper, most people still use this weapon anyway, but it does have a delay, so I would not recommend for cat spams. But if it has like a little bit of a slight delay, then it's possible for cat spams. What it actually does is that it just leaves out like landmines and whatnot when still trying to fire it. It can be 1 to 2 hits, and almost like fully 1 hit to the body and like 1 hit to the head in general, because it's almost like a full-on like collision, in my opinion. So Poisonous Grasshopper, slight delay, so possible for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals at low and moderates. The Shrimposaur, this one does have a delay, so I would not recommend for cat spams. Almost like casuals, pardon me. No for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals at low and moderates only. It does have a very good area damage, decent reload speed, and its ammo usage is pretty okay. Hoping it'll maybe be a little bit more or something else like that, but I've never seen a whole lot of folks use this weapon anyway. So moving on is the Easter Season 1, which is the Egg Colorant. This one is pretty okay fire rate and amazing damage per second as well too. Decent reload, good ammo usage. Not much I can say about this weapon, but I do recall it does have a healing ability where I think... Yeah, it does have the healing ability. I thought it was just like mainly just heals yourself, but it actually just helps you heal your allies, like your teammates are like low on health, so it might be pretty good to use. And it does have the weakening effect as well too, so just FYI on that one. So I would say no for cat spams, yes for casuals for moderates and low-level players, and possible for highs as well too. The Hocus Pocus. This one, it's a similarity as the Ghost Lantern in this one, but it has a very huge delay, so no for cat spams, but I would possibly recommend this for low-level players. For moderates and high-level players, they can still use it, but the only thing you have to worry about for moderates and high-level players is that if you do see anyone use this weapon, they're trying to be like very lucky on the hit, so they had to like be like it's like testing your luck and your aim, so you had to like be very cautious on like where you're aiming and whatnot, and make sure you're following their movement. So Hocus Pocus, no for cat spams, yes for casuals at lows only, and I would also recommend for moderates and high level players. The Bunny Smasher, it does have a delay in it. The best thing about this type of weapon anyway is that it's a melee category, and it has two of the same annoying abilities, which is the disable jumps and gadget blocker. And it's really fun to use, on my opinion. You can use this in Knife Party to just annoy people and whatnot. The only downside, like I said, it's just has a little delay. So I would probably recommend no for cat spams, but I would recommend this for casuals at low and moderates only, and maybe a little bit for high level players as well. But if it is possible for cat spams, like I said, it may have a little bit of delay, so you have to be very mindful about it. But I would definitely recommend this for Knife Party in general. The A Killer. This one is possible for cat spams and whatnot, but if it has like a tiny bit of delay, then it's still possible for it. Pretty good area damage, decent reload speed, good ammo usage. Not much I can say about this, so yes for cat spams, and I would recommend like an OG weapon, but I've never seen a whole lot of folks use this. Especially for me in general, when I only use it for like the Easter, like when it's like Easter Day or something else like that in general. So the A Killer, it will say yes for cat spams. I would also recommend for casuals at low and moderates. The Carrot Crossbow. Oh boy. This one's going to be annoying and... Hello? Okay, that's a little bit weird. So apparently, sorry about that, just trying to figure out like what's going on. But Carrot Crossbow, it is possible for cat spams, but the actual downside, like you saw like a little bit of clip right there where like the aiming was like a little bit off. Like I'm like aiming at the enemy and then just like fires off a different area. So it's probably maybe like the modules I have on it. But anyways, moving on. Carrot Crossbow, I would say yes for cat spams and yes for casuals. For moderates and high level players, and for low level players, if they do actually have this weapon in the lottery and whatnot, congratulations. And it's a very like lucky and rare weapon to get anyway, because it has the critical ability and so on and so forth. So Carrot Crossbow, yes for cat spams. It's an OG weapon. Yes for moderates and high level players and whatnot. Moving right on, it's the Watchy Snippy. This one is possible for cat spams, but the only downside is that it has travel time and it has like a contact detonator ability, so it's more like a landmine. But it is possible to actually just get the enemy on contact in general. So I would definitely recommend this for cat spams and also for casuals for moderate and high level players. The Spinny Shooty, this one is an automatic type weapon. It's like a minigun ability. Unfortunately, it cannot be cat spammed, but I would recommend this for casuals for low and moderates only. The Poly Blasty, I believe this would be possible for cat spams because it has the bleeding ability and the cluster ability. I do see a whole lot of bots use this weapon anyway, so it's a fun weapon to use. The only downside is that it has a little bit of travel time, so I have to be like very like cautious and like watch your aim and see like where the player is moving to and whatnot. So for Poly Blasty, I would recommend this for cat spams. and also for casuals for low and moderates. And maybe a little bit for high level players if they have good experience with this weapon. The Chickaboom! Unfortunately, this one is a shotgun ability, which is amazing, but the actual downside is that it cannot be cat spam because of that big delay. When you're swapping over to your backup and your primary, it does have a delay on any type of category you use. I do see bots use this weapon anyway. The only two abilities it has is just the shotgun and the damage while reloading ability. And I believe that's the ever first weapon that actually has that ability anyway. So for Chickaboom, I would not recommend for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals at low and moderates. And maybe a little bit for our high level players if they have good experience with this weapon. But like I said, it is possible maybe for a cat spam, but it has a little bit of a delay, so it would be a no-go for my recommendation. The Battle Grain Throwers, this one, in my opinion, is a backup minigun ability. It's not possible for a cat spams because of the minigun ability, like I said. Not much you can say about this. It has a pretty good ammo usage and a decent reload speed. It does have like the headshot ability and most of my modules, like you see right here, where I have like the gain and more HP and whatnot, and also the critical ability. It's a fun weapon to use, and it does also have the critical ability on it, but you can have just like multiple critical chances on what type of stuff anyway. So, Battle Grain Throwers I would recommend for casuals at low and moderates. Maybe a little bit for high level players, but no for cat spams. The Last Cry. This is a dash weapon that was first introduced into the game. It has the lifesteal ability and the dash ability. You could use this in Knife Party. It is possible for one hit for any type of weapon that has like a dash ability. But unfortunately, due to the actual circumstances and whatnot, they had to revamp a little bit of the dash abilities. So you can see like most people just do it when it's not like fully charged. They can still just keep going when they like. But unfortunately, for some dash abilities, they need to be fully charged to actually use the actual dash ability. So for this one, I would recommend for casuals and good recommendation for Knife Party. You can use them in death matches or team fight. I would recommend for casuals at moderates and low-level players, and also good for high-level players if they want to get fast XP grinds as well too. So Last Cry, good for casuals, no for cat spams because of the dash ability and whatnot. It may have a little bit of delay. So for casuals, I would say yes to all recommendations and all the level players as well too for low, moderates, and highs. We are now reaching to the category where I first ever got my first season battle pass, which is the anime season from these first 5 over here. The Dragon Energy Emitter. This one is a type of like stream beam weapon, which has the burning ability and just a stream beam and whatnot. It cannot be used for cat spams, unfortunately, because of the charge shot. I would recommend this for casuals at low and moderates. The only downside about it is that there's nothing much about this except that there's a tiny little bit of a glitch with the little reload cap right here. So if you kind of see like right over here when you're about to start aiming and whatnot, it has like a little bit of like a curve in it. So it's kind of hard to see right here. But like if you want, I can show you guys a little bit of like a tiny little like example of what I'm saying. So if we go into the Dragon Energy Emitter, if I can find it. So if you look right here, if you pay close attention to the clip, you can kind of see it's a little bit crooked, and that's not what it's supposed to be like anyway. But when it's still firing, it still has the crooked ability, but after it's like done with its animation attack, it'll go back to its proper position. So it still needs to be fixed down, unfortunately, so hopefully you guys see this video, and also the developers as well too, because there's still been an issue like this for the past like several years, and it's still not even been fixed yet. So hopefully that will get fixed soon. But Dragon Energy Emitter, yes for casuals, for low and moderates, but it's not possible for cat spams, unfortunately. The Fist of Fate. This one is possible for but not possible for cat spam, so I apologize. It has the charge shot ability and whatnot. Does have the headshot ability, not headshot ability. It does have the headshot added on. The only downside is a charge shot, and you have to like keep on like aiming at the enemy or whatnot for like several like hits. I would recommend for Knife Party for casuals at moderates and high level players because they can just keep on spamming this anyways to just have like fun with it anyway. So Fist of Fate, no for cat spams, yes for casuals, and it's recommended for Knife Party if you like. The Demon Catcher. This is the most and best amazing weapon to go for anyway. It's just one hit activation before it does the super punch ability. It does have the headshot added in. It's like one hit to anything, especially with a more damage to the curse ability. It can just like hit anything to the head or to the body. And this is really good for cat spam, so it's an OG weapon, and it's also good for clan raids as well too. So if you're looking for a type of weapon and whatnot for clans and whatnot, like a best sniper category, the Demon Catcher is the best one to go for because of the more damage to the curse ability and the super punch ability. So it's really fun. It's an OG weapon, best weapon to use for cat spams, and good for casuals, and amazing for clan raids as well too. The only downside, it has a travel time with it. Moving right along is the Aboard Puncher. This does have a delay, unfortunately, and this is the starter for the actual anime season for One Night when you reach level 1 of the Battle Pass. It can one-hit anything because of its huge area damage, and it has the stun ability. It has a pretty decent reload speed, good ammo usage, but the only downside is that it cannot be cat spams. So I will say no for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals at low, moderates, and a little bit of good experience for high-level players as well too. Next up is the Deadly Tail. You can actually get this in the Elite Tier Battle Pass for the anime season. It does have the Super Punch ability, and it's an automatic weapon, but it cannot be cat spammed. It has like no delay, but it does have a little bit of a delay animation as well too when you swap over from your backup and your heavy. So for this one, I would not recommend for cat spams because, like I said, it has like no delay, but it has the delay animation, unfortunately. So no for cat spams, and yes for casuals for low and moderate players. And it does have a good super punch ability and a lifesteal ability in it. Next up are the 3 cards: the sword soul card, the bow, and the lance. The sword one in general, it did had a very good buff, but after that it got nerfed because it's an automatic type weapon where it does like 3 hits per ammo usage. It was like 2 hits to like any type of body part, like for the head and for the body. So the sword card in general, in my opinion, I would recommend for casuals and whatnot, for low and moderates, but I do see bots use this weapon anyway. So the sword card, no for cat spams, yes for casuals for low and moderates. The lance card is possible for cat spams because of its huge area effect. Unfortunately, there was a glitch in the system where it had like a huge, massive area damage because like it one hit anywhere entirely, and unfortunately they did patch that glitch and it was back to its normal usual ways. So the lance card, in my opinion, is a yes for cat spams. No, why do I say no? Yes for cat spams, it's an OG weapon, and yes for casuals for low and moderate players. And good experience for high level players as well too. The bow card, unfortunately, it has a charge shot, so it is not possible for cat spams, but it does have like no delay at all, so you can still swap over, but like I said, it has the charge ability. It is recommended in Sniper Forts, so you can still use it anyway, but the only downside, it has like no scope at all, so you have to be very mindful and just try your aim as you can anyway, and just do the best as you can. So hopefully with people with good experience with a bow card, they got some amazing skills anyway for it. It has a piercing shot and a headshot added in and whatnot, so you have to be very mindful about it. And it has like no reload at all, like the lance and the sword. So bow card I would recommend for casuals and whatnot. No for cat spams. For casuals, I would recommend for low level players and a little bit of moderates. Oh boy, this is gonna be the nightmare of my dreams over here. The vertical grip device. Most people use this weapon anyway because it's an OG type weapon anyway because of the pulling towards the enemy. They did actually revamp the pulling the target ability because, like I said, most people would just hit theirs to the ground and it would just be working out fine because if they just want to do this, then they could start flying and whatnot. But unfortunately, they had to patch that up, and now you can't. So you have to be like in very long distance range. So vertical grip device, I would recommend this for cat spams as well. But like I said, for cat spams, there's 3 different types. There's normal, pulling towards target cat spams, and the dash cat spams. And I'll probably talk about that later on for more videos about that as well too, about like what they actually mean in general. So vertical grip device, I would recommend for all people, for casuals, and also for cat spams as well too. But it does have a little bit of delay, so it is possible because people have a good experience with this weapon anyway. The Siege Mode Gauntlet. I believe bots may use this weapon, but I do see a few players use it. The only downside has the manual guidance. Has very good area damage, decent reload, and amazing ammo as well too. It takes up like 5 ammo per shot. So like for example, like if you're just firing off like one single thing, like this is 1, it takes away 5 like ammos. So like it dropped from 24 to 18. So for this one, I would recommend for casuals, but it's not good for cat spams because of the manual guidance and whatnot. For casuals, I would recommend for low and moderates only, but I do believe bots use it as well too. The One Punch Gauntlet. I know there's an anime movie, I believe, I forgot the name of it, but I believe it's called like One Punch Man or something. I forgot the actual name. You guys can help me, leave me in the comment section down below. The One Punch Gauntlet, it has like a one punch activation to start up with a super punch. It has a pretty good super punch ability, like a 1 hit. It is possible for 1 hit to the head, but it's only 2 hits, but it's also 2 hits to the body as well too. It does have a delay, unfortunately, so I would not recommend for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals at moderates and high-level players. And I believe also Lucky Chance as well, too, for low-level players as well, too. And it is recommended for Knife Party as well, too, because that's an option in it. Moving up is the Shell Bubbler. This is another type weapon that has the head enlargement ability. I do believe my clan leader uses this weapon anyway because of the healing and the head enlargement for just easier headshots in general. It's an automatic type weapon for a primary, but it's good for casuals for any categories, but unfortunately it's not possible for cat spams. Okay, that was weird. It is not possible for cat spams, but because of the delay animation, unfortunately, so no for cat spams, yes for casuals for all categories, for low, moderates, and highs. Moving up next is the Tide Bracers. This one is maybe possible for cat spams, but if it has a delay, then no go. Pretty decent reload, amazing fire rate as well too, and also good ammo usage. It takes up 3 ammo usage for like 1 single go, so I have to be very mindful about it. It does have a damage sphere area, but you have to help out with the assistance as well too, because the damage sphere takes like a little bit of damage, but you have to like be with an assistance to help out with that. So Tide Bracers, if it's possible for cat spams, then go for it. Unfortunately, if it has a little bit of delay, then no go. I would definitely recommend for casuals for low, and moderates, and a little bit good experience for high level players as well too. But I don't see a whole lot of folks use this weapon anyway. The Call of Sirens. This weapon is a good weapon. It's an OG type and also good for cat spams. Has a pretty good area damage, like slightly, but you have to be within super close range with it. It has the weakening ability, decent reload, good ammo usage, and it's also good for sniper forts as well too, because of the area damage and the weakening as well too. So Call of Sirens, yes, for cat spams, it's an OG type weapon, unless it has a little bit of delay if you're using a type of different weapons like the reflector or laser bouncer, it will have a delay in it. But if you're using poison darts or a necklace of the Ice King, then it has like no delay, then you can still use it. So Call of Sirens, yes for cat spams, yes for casuals, for low and moderates, and good experience for high level players. The Deep Ambusher. Oh boy. There's been a few players use this weapon anyway, but not even for bots. It is possible, maybe for cat spams, but it may have a little bit of delay. It has a super fast reload speed, like just 2 seconds in general, but it can one hit to anything because it has a It has a contact detonator, but also has the chain damage ability as well too. So the Deep Ambusher I would recommend for casuals, and slightly for cat spams as well too, but don't forget it has the annoying delay animation. So for casuals, I would recommend to all categories on this one. The Cthulhu Legacy, you can actually get this in the Elite Tier Challenge. It has the consecutive explosion, the poison, and the healing ability in this one. It's really fun to use, whatnot, but the actual downside is that I'm not sure there's actual downside for this weapon anyway. You guys could probably help me leave in the comment section down below for the Cthulhu Legacy, because most of these weapons I actually never touched in like years. So just only making videos for this stuff anyway, so that way I can tell you guys which is which for cat spams and which ones are good for casuals and whatnot. But Cthulhu Legacy, in my opinion, would be a good weapon to use and whatnot for like any type of healing and whatnot. If you don't have the heroic Epi, the Cthulhu Legacy will be your good substitution anyway because of the healing ability. And it's also a good consecutive explosion and good poison, and it's also recommended for a knife party as well too. And it's also possible for raids, like minigame clan raids as well too, if you want to just stay alive and whatnot. So that's it for that one. The Marooning Anchor. I believe this is the only first ability that has the boomerang type. So for the Marooning Anchor, it can one-hit anything because of its huge area damage. And with this boomerang ability, it can just go back immediately. So like, if you just right here, and then just come right back, it'd just be like, you missed me. Ow. Just like right here, for example. So from the Marooning Anchor, I do see a few players use this weapon, but not for bots in general. Slow reload speed, good ammo usage. It can one-hit anything because of its huge area damage. So I would recommend for casuals, but it may have a huge delay for the cat spam ability, unfortunately. For casuals, I would definitely recommend for low and moderates, and good experience for high-level players. We are halfway there for part 8. The Heavy Drill Rifle. It does have the chainsaw ability and the minigun ability, so it's like really fun to use. You can do in both different ways, but the chainsaw ability takes like a few hits per second. But for the actual minigun ability, it just can be like a really fun weapon to use. It has the critical hit ability and headshot added in. For the chainsaw ability, you need to use assistance and whatnot for the damage as well too for the minigun. So it can take you like 1 or 1.5 seconds with that. But if you just use the chainsaw ability, it'll just take like like 10 seconds in general, so you just have to be very mindful about it. But you have to be like in good distance with it anyway. But if you're like super close to it, then it's not going to work out at all, because it'll just be like 20 or 30 seconds. But if you're just like far away from it, then you can still get a good hit in. So heavy drill rifle, I would not recommend for cat spams, but I would recommend for casuals, for low and moderate players, and possible for high level players as well too. But don't forget, it does have the decent reload and good ammo usage. But don't forget, it has two abilities of the chainsaw and the minigun ability. So be aware, you might have to do both at the same time anyway. The rivet gun, this cannot be possible for cat spams, unfortunately, because of the delay. It has a very good critical chance ability, 1 to 2 hits to the body, and possible for 1 hit to the head, like a lucky chance. Very good burning ability, good ammo usage, very fast reload speed as well too. I would recommend for casuals at moderates and high level players, and very lucky chance drop for low level players as well too. The submarine drone station, it has the enemy detector on it, so you can kind of, oh, excuse me, got me the hiccups. You can kind of see from the enemy detector, it has the little dots, which are the enemy outlines, to see like where they're at. So for the submarine drone station, it is possible for cat spams, but it has a slight little bit of delay, so I'd be very mindful about it. It has the random effect ability. It is possible for 1 hit to anything like the head or to the body, because of its huge area damage as well. So yes, for cat spams, but don't forget, it does have a slight delay. So it is possible for cat spams, and I would definitely recommend for casuals, for moderate and high level players, and a lucky chance for low levels as well too. The Echo Scanner. This one has the electric thrower ability. It's like similar to like a flamethrower for the special, but has a pretty decent reload, amazing ammo usage. But most people would just use this anyway just for fun and just to annoy people, because it has the electric thrower ability, because like it's a flamethrower and whatnot, because it'll just kill the enemies in like 2 seconds fast or 2 seconds flat in general. So Echo Scanner, it cannot be cat spam unfortunately, but I believe it has like no delay. But you have to be very mindful about it anyway. So if you use this for a cat spam weapon, it may have a slight delay, but no delay animation when you're swapping over for weapons. So Echo Scanner, possible for cat spams. Yes, for casuals, for moderates, high level players, and a super lucky chance for low levels as well too. Underwater Carbine. This one right here, it is super possible for cat spams, because its ability and whatnot, it can help heal allies in your opinion, but I'm running out of ideas for this actually saying stuff. So Underwater Carbine, in my opinion, would be a best weapon to use for clan raids if your teammates are running low, because it has a teammate's healing ability. It can 1 hit to the head and 2 hits to the body, or possible for 1 hit to the body if you have like higher modules. Underwater Carbine would be an OG weapon for cat spams. Good ammo usage and a decent reload speed, so it'll be a fun thing to use. And I do recall, previously it was 8, but now it's like 7. So Underwater Carbine, yes for cat spams, it's an OG weapon, and yes for casuals, for lows, moderates, and highs. Next up, let's see Project Dolphin. This is a semi-auto automatic primary. It is not possible for cat spams. It does have the scope ability, but unfortunately, no for cat spams, and yes for casuals, for any category in general. But I don't see a whole lot of folks use this weapon anyway. It's like a very super rare chance of seeing that happen anyway for any players who are using weapons I've never touched in years, like me, for example. The Project Rapid Flock. This one right here, it's not possible for cat spams in this one because of its delay and whatnot, but it has a pretty fast reload and amazing ammo usage in this one. It cannot be ricocheted, unfortunately, in this one. But I would definitely recommend for casuals, for low and moderates, and a little bit for a good experience for high-level players as well, too. The Project Marlin. This is an OG weapon. It did get a few nerfs and whatnot because of its like one hit to the body and one hit to the head scenario. It is recommended for sniper forts, so it's a fun thing to use. It's a ricochet, has a scope, but I believe it does not have... It does have an X-ray vision. So I would definitely recommend for cat spams. It's an OG weapon. Yes, for casuals for all categories, and it is good for sniper forts. Next up are the advanced weapons. You can only get these weapons like one time in the trader's van, but now you can actually get them in the shop for like starter packs, in my general opinion. But I did actually, I was a bit confused at first, but I did talk to the developers about it when I was confused, because there's two of the same, but unfortunately it's actually the truth. It's not a glitch or anything. It's just more like I'm drawing a blank on it, but you guys probably understand what I'm saying anyway. So these weapons in general, you can actually get them one time, and it's really hard to get them at because they're only for like a limited time offer. So you can actually get them from like the starter pack when you first start the game at level 1, or you can also get them from the lottery as well too. But it's like really, really hard to get. So for the advanced scout rifle, it's almost similar to like the firefighter one a little bit, and the Eliminator X2. There's not much to say about this except that it's an automatic weapon. So no for cat spams, yes for casuals for all categories in this one. The Harsh Punisher. This is an OG type weapon. It's a similar to that as the heavy sniper rifle in this one. It can one hit to any type of body part for the head and for the body. But because most people use this weapon anyway, but it did get a few nerfs. But after playtest with it, most people are still going to use this weapon anyway because of its damage range as well too. So for this one, it's an OG and good cat spam weapon, and for casuals as well too for all categories. The Manual Inferno, it's the same thing as a mercenary flamethrower in this one. No for cat spams, yes for casuals, but I will definitely recommend for low-level players only. For moderates and high-level players, they can find a different special weapon anyway because they want to use them for cat spams anyway. Not for cat spams in this weapon right here I'm showing you guys for the Manual Inferno, because it's a flamethrower type ability. But I would definitely recommend for low-level players and whatnot. The Offensive Rocket System. This is the same similarity as the Celebration Bazooka in this one, because it's like it takes like three bullets out, but it'll still keep the same and whatnot. It has a very good rocket jump with a multi-shot, amazing area damage, decent reload, and good ammo. So I will definitely recommend this for casuals, and good for cat spams as well too. Coming up next is the Headhunter's Pistols. It's the same similarity as the Dual Anchor, but unfortunately for this one, it's the same thing, but the only difference is it has higher ammo usage, and it has the critical ability in it. So I would say it's an OG weapon, same thing as the Dual Anchor in this one. OG weapon for cat spams, and casuals for moderates, highs, and lows as well too. Same thing for the offensive rocket system as well too. We're almost there to the very end of number 800, so moving up next is the Thunderbolt. my favorite weapon of all time because of its electricity powers with the lightning strike in it. Thunderbolt has a decent reload speed, good ammo usage. It does have a gadget block ability and the chain damage ability. The actual tiny little downside, it has a slight delay, so it cannot be possible for cat spams in this one. So no for cat spams, yes for casuals, for lows and moderates, and very good experience for high level players as well too. Spear of War. This is the second weapon that has the ability of the protection from burning as well. So it is possible for not possible. Sorry, I can't speak right today. For this one, it has a slight delay, so I would probably not recommend for cat spams, but I would do recommend for casuals, for lows, moderates, and good experience for high level players as well too. And it is also good for knife party as well too. It can 2 hit to the head, whatnot. It can also 2 hit to the body, so it's really fun to use. Aphrodite crossbow. This one shoots in 3 directions. It is possible for cat spam since it's an OG weapon, because you'll see a few folks do a 2 cat spam with the Earth Spike spell and the Aphrodite crossbow. Decent reload, good ammo usage. It does have the scope on it, so it can be really fun, and it also has a teammate's healing ability in it, so it can be also helpful for clan raids as well too, and also minigame raids. So OG weapon for cat spams, yes for casuals, for lows and moderates, and very well good experience for high level players. Winged revolver has the ricochet on this one, but unfortunately it cannot be cat spam because of the delay. Has no scope on it. It can 2 to 3 hits to the body, 2 to 3 hits to the head. I would definitely recommend this for casuals, for lows and moderates only, and whatnot. The Ferocious Poleaxe, it does have the lifesteal ability. I do actually use this in clan raids for like the monster sieges and whatnot, so I can get a very good lifesteal ability in it for like more health. It was previously like 1 hit entirely because it was so annoying for players and whatnot when they actually don't have this weapon, because it has the headshot added in and can like 1 hit like entirely to anything, and it has the bleeding ability and it can pierce through enemies. So Ferocious Poleaxe has a delay, so no for cat spams, yes for casuals, for lows, moderates, and very well experienced for high level players as well too. And it is good for clan raids, and minigame raids in this one. The Cerebus has the cluster bomb ability. Unfortunately, it cannot be cat spammed, but I do see bots use this weapon anyway. Decent reload, okay ammo usage in this one. Unfortunately for this one, there's not much I can say about this anyway, because it's not possible for cat spams. The actual downside about that because of the delay. I would definitely recommend this for casuals, for lows and moderates, and very well experienced players for high levels and whatnot. Nothing much I can say about it, but if it is possible for cat spams, it may have a slight delay in it, I believe, but it may have a very huge one, like a very huge delay in it for input and output. The Conductor of Souls, or COS in this one. Conductor of Souls, it's an OG weapon, 6 ammo usage, pretty decent reload speed, it has a scope in it, it can be recommended for sniper forts. Has the lifesteal in this one, and it can like 1 hit to the head and 1 hit to the body. Really fun to use. So OG weapon for cat spams. Definitely recommend for casuals, for moderates and highs, and super lucky chance for lows as well too. Oh boy. This is the most annoying weapon of all time. The Triple Bite, it is recommended in Knife Party because it's an option for a weapon. It had several nerfs in it because it was so overpowered. It cannot be cat spammed because it has a delay in it. It has the lifesteal, the area damage. They did actually nerf the area damage effect in this one. And it did slow down the attack speed as well too for it. So this one I would probably not recommend for cat spams because of the delay. But I would definitely recommend for casuals at low level players and moderates. And it's good for knife party as well too. Next up is number 773, the Wrath of Fate. It's a primary weapon for automatic, has the burning ability, pretty decent reload, good ammo usage. The only downside is that it cannot be cat spammed because it's an automatic type weapon. I would recommend for casuals, for low, moderates, and a little bit high level players as well too. And it does also have the area effect in it when the enemies are closer to because of the range of the fireball in it. The Earth Tremor, it has a charge ability. It can one hit to anything in general. It can heal you. The actual downside about it is, I'm not sure about a downside about this anyway. I believe the only downside I know about is that it may not be possible for cat spams, but I think, not much I can say about this anyway because it's just healing and it's just like a limited ammo usage anyway, and it has like no reload at all. But I don't think it has a ricochet in it because when looking through it, it doesn't even have it. But it is possible for rocket jump, so this is like the this is like one of two special weapons for rocket jumps. But it's not a very high one, unfortunately. So, Earth Tremor, I would probably recommend for casuals, for lows and moderates, and very well experienced for high-level players. But it's not possible for cat spams in this one, unfortunately, because of the charge shot. Moving up next is the Primal Cold. For this one, it is recommended for a knife party. It can one hit to the head and two hits to the body. And it's a 2 activation for a super punch in this one. For the super punch, it's just like one hit entirely in this one. So, Primal Cold, I would not recommend for cat spams in this one because I did a little bit of test run with it. It has a very slight delay in this one, or like a very huge one. But I would definitely recommend for casuals for all categories in this one. And it is recommended for knife party in this. The Boar's Roar. It's a shotgun ability. Very fast reload speed, pretty decent fire rate, and good ammo usage in this one. The actual downside about it is that it has a delay for cat spam in this one, so it's no for cat spam. Its damage sphere is pretty decent, but you had to help out with the assistance for it anyway. It does have the critical ability. So for this one, definitely recommend for casuals for all categories in this one, but it cannot be cat spammed in this one. Next up is the Gorgon Head. I kept thinking that this is the Medusa one in this one, but it just says Gorgon Head because it's almost similar to like Medusa's head a little bit. This had a very huge buff. It can like one hit to the body and possible for one hit to the head. And it does have the headshot added in. It has limited ammo usage, no reload included. It may have a delay in it, so it's no for cat spams, but I would definitely recommend for casuals, for low, moderates, and very well experienced for high-level players as well, too. The Invincible Lion. It does have rocket jump in this one. It's 2-shot activation ability for a super punch. You can use this in clan raids for the super punch ability and whatnot. Not much you can say about this. It can be like one hit to any type of body part in general because of its huge area damage and amazing super punch. Decent reload and very limited amount of ammo as well too. But for the super punch ability, it just saves your ammo whatnot and does not even waste it on like one single go. So for Invincible Lion, no for cat spams because of a delay, but it may have a slight delay, so it is possible for cat spams. But I would definitely recommend for casuals for all categories in this one. And it's also good for clan rates as well too, but it does not have the lifesteal ability on it. Next up is the Debugger. For this one, it is a rocket jump in it. It's 2 hits to the body and it's random effects as well too. Unfortunately, it does not have the headshot added in this one. For Debugger, in my opinion, it may be possible for cat spams, but if it has a delay, then it's a no-go for this one. Not much I can say about this, but I would definitely recommend for casuals for lows and moderates. And it does also have both the same thing as for the Bunny Smasher for the Disable Jumps and Gadget Blocker in this one. The Like Booster. This is a pretty okay weapon, but unfortunately it cannot be cat spammed. Very fast reload speed, good ammo usage. It can damage reflect where the enemy is firing at you, and then it just reflect to the damage right back to the enemy if you have this weapon on here. It does have the teammates healing ability, so it's also good for clan raids and minigame raids as well too. But I would say no for cat spams, yes for casuals for lows, moderates, and highs. But not a whole lot of high-level players use this weapon anyway because they want to just use cat spam weapons, so I would definitely recommend for lows and moderates. The only downside is that it has no scope. It does actually have it, but there's no scope ability for it. Next up is the Band Hammer. Most bots use this weapon anyway because it has a consecutive explosion and it has a very fast attack speed in it. It's recommended in knife party and whatnot, but every time I think of this weapon, it makes me think of the Band Hammer from like the person, which I'm not gonna name out anyway because I'm gonna get a copyright strike for it anyway. So the Band Hammer, I would definitely recommend for knife party and for casuals. It does have a slight delay for cat spams, unfortunately. For casuals, I would recommend to all categories in this one, but also bots use this weapon as well too. The VR blasters. This may be possible for cat spams in this one. It does have the X-ray vision. Pretty decent reload and good ammo usage in this one. There's not much I can say about this weapon entirely, but if it is possible for cat spams, let me know in the comments down below for this one. Because like I said, most of these weapons I never touched in years, but I still attained them anyway. But it's been quite a while because I've been using newer ones that were first introduced anyway. So for VR blasters, if it is possible for cat spams, then yes. If it has a delay, then no. For casuals, I would definitely recommend to all categories in this one. The Killer Cord. It's a stream beam, not like a stream beam, but more like an electric thrower, like a flamethrower type ability. For the Killer Cord, it can weaken and charm for this one, I think. No, it's just weakening. It does also have the damage during reload time as well too, so I would definitely not recommend for cat spam players, but I would definitely recommend for casuals, but I don't see a whole lot of players use this, so for casuals, recommended for lows and moderates only in this one. So, yeah, Killer Cord, no for cat spams, yes for casuals, for moderates and low levels only in this one. I'm have a hard time pronouncing this name anyway, so I'm just gonna... Invigorating Awaker. I'm just gonna call it the Coffee Maker in this one. It does have the teammates healing ability in this one. It has a looping shot. It can one hit to anything. Well, roughly one hit. It can be 2 hits and whatnot because of the area damage. It's good for clan raids and minigame raids because of the teammates healing ability in this one. Not a whole lot of players use it, but I do believe it has a delay for cat spams. So I will say no for it, but I would definitely say yes for casuals, for moderates and low-level players included. So it's really fun to use, and it also does have the double jump ability for it as well, if you don't have the actual boots that have the double jump ability for it. Next up is the Total Planner. This one can one hit to anything in general because of this area damage in this one. So Total Planner can be very helpful for your allies because of the damage boost ability. It has a slight delay for cat spam, so it may be possible for it, but if it has a very huge one, then no. But for casuals, I'll probably definitely recommend for lows and moderates in this one, and very well experienced for high level players as well too, if they have the very good aim at it as well. But I think maybe bots use this weapon, but I think it's the other weapon, which I'll probably explain next, which is probably this one right here. But moving on, next would be the Money Rain. This one has a delay, so no for cat spams, but I would definitely recommend for casuals for lows and moderates in it. Because it has the bleeding ability, and I'm not sure about the piercing. It does have the piercing shot ability in this one, and the bleeding ability in this. So pretty amazing ammo usage and decent reload as well too. So no for cat spams, yes for casuals, for lows and moderates. And the only downside, it has like no area damage on it. Now, the render station. Bots actually use this weapon anyway because it has like random rockets to figure out which one it is. Could be like either clusters or a contact mine or just rockets entirely for the area damage. So unfortunately, it has a slight delay, so it may be possible for cat spams, but for casuals, I would definitely recommend for lows and moderates in this one. The Gunforce PGX. This one has the Super Punch ability. Not sure how many usage it takes anyway, so I can probably do a test run and see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 activations, and then you can kind of see it started to spark a little bit because that's the Super Punch ability. So it's really fun to use. It's a very fast fire rate in this one, so it's really like outstanding. Very decent reload and good ammo usage in this one. So unfortunately, it cannot be cat spam because it's an automatic type weapon. But I would definitely recommend for all categories in this one, for moderates and high level players, and super lucky chance for low levels as well too. Digital drawing pad. I do see bots use this weapon. It has the area damage and the critical hit ability in this one. It has the scope, but I do believe it's also recommended in Sniper Force, unless they actually removed it. So yeah, it's an OG weapon for cat spams. You can actually get this in the super lottery for any type of lottery season of what it is. In the super chest. It can like one hit to anything with the critical hit added in for the head and body in this one. So for digital drawing pad, it's an OG weapon for cat spams, casuals for all categories in this one. 4 more left to go. Next up is the Cheater Hunter. This one is decent damage per second fire rate for the damage. Pretty fast reloads. Random effects added in there. Not much I can say about this, but it cannot be possible for cat spams in this one because it's an automatic type weapon. Nothing else I can say about it. So no for cat spams, yes for casuals for all categories for lows, moderates, and highs. The Super Fixer. I believe this is also a weapon you can use in Knife Party. It also has the disabled jumps and the magic blocker ability in this one. So it's really fun to use. Pretty fast attack speed in this one. 2 hits to the head and 3 hits to the body. So I will say yes for casuals. It may be also possible for cat spams as well too. But it may have a little bit of delay when we move it over to another type of weapon. So yeah. The Bug Cleaner. This one is a flamethrower type ability with the electric thrower in it. Pretty slow reload. Decent amount of ammo. Not a whole lot of players use this anyway. So I would probably not recommend for cat spams, but definitely recommend for casuals, for lows and moderates, and also very well experienced for high level players. And plus, these three weapons right here is the second choice as well too, as what I said in my previous video for the Mr. Juice set, because it has the slow down radius ability, which has like a whole bunch of orange juice splat from a huge radius, and just like completely disables your jumps. So be very mindful about it. If you do see that orange juice splat, avoid it immediately. Finally, we have is the good code, the cousin of the bad code. Bots use this weapon anyway in this one, so fortunately, it's very super slow reload speed. It is not possible for cat spams because of a very huge delay in it. It has a very good amount of ammo usage and pretty fast attack speed as well too. So for this one, I will say no for cat spams and yes for casuals, for lows and moderates. But for high level players, they can still use it and whatnot if they first got it and just want to test it out, but they think it's not going to be a good weapon anyway. And that will be it for part 8 of Pixel Gun 3D. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, Lightning Strike.